Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear. We're going to look at a product from Valken today. These are the Valken Thunder V distraction devices. So this one right here is the 3-pack with the core. So it comes with, basically it's like a starter kit. It's going to come with the core assembly and then 3 different shells. The shells are different shapes, each one of them. This is your standard shell B, shell C, pineapple shell, and then our core assembly right here. There's also, they give you 2 pins, 2 spare or 1 and a spare. This is just your standard shell. This one right here has caps on it that you can unscrew off of there. The caps actually give a little bit more strength to the shell so that when it does go off, it's louder. And then the pineapple just has more realistic look to it. So what this device actually is it is a sound device. They call it a distraction device. So what's going to happen when you release the spoon and it pops up and you throw it like a hand grenade, pressure is going to build inside of this plastic casing to the point where the case cannot hold the pressure anymore. The pressure will escape, literally blowing the shell up and creating a very, very loud noise. Now, the ones that I've seen that have gone off, they don't turn this into a bunch of shrapnel that just goes flying everywhere. Typically, it just blows a large hole in the side of it and makes a very, very loud noise. They say on the box that the sound level is about 130 decibels, which is like a pneumatic drill or a plane flying over your head. So it is very, very loud. So you might make sure you're using the proper safety equipment and things like that. You do not want it going off in your hand, so you need to be very careful with that. If you accidentally let it loose, don't hold on to it, throw it away to the side. And if you don't have any ear protection or whatever, make sure you're covering your ears. But the way this works is you have your core right here. You've got what you're called your spoon at the top. Basically, to set this up and make it work properly, the hammer is inside here, and you've got your pin right here with this little safety device on the end of it. You're going to go ahead and grab the hammer from the inside, and you're going to pull it all the way back like that. Okay. One thing you do have to be careful is the pin. It sticks out right here. The pin is going to jam into the CO2 cartridge that you put in there, the 12 gram, and is going to release the pressure inside of there. So if you do this by hand right now, and you're monkeying around with this, and it slips off of your finger, there's a good chance that this could puncture your finger or whatever happens to be on the bottom of it. So to avoid that, take the core assembly right there and screw it in. It doesn't have a 12 gram in it right now. That's fine. We don't need to worry about that. We're going to grab the hammer. We're going to pull it all the way back. We're going to take our pin and we're going to slide it in. Now I don't need to slide it all the way through, because what I'm going to do then is take the spoon, pull it down, and while I'm pushing on the spoon, I'm going to wiggle the pin out. Okay. Now the spoon is holding the hammer back right now. Then I can take my pin, put it back through, and if I'm not going out right away, I can take my little safety plug and put it on there. So this this distraction device is ready to go as far as it is. I don't call it wound up, but it is cocked and ready to go. The only thing that's missing is the CO2 12 gram. Now we do not need to remove the core again to put the 12 gram in. The bottom section is threaded. So we can just undo the bottom, take our 12 gram, slide it in, and then recap the bottom. Now it does say in the instruction manual, don't over tighten and don't under tighten. So you're gonna have to, trial and error to figure out which is the perfect tightness for you. It says hand tight, and that's all you need. So tighten it up till it's snug and leave it alone. Don't overdo it. Don't crank on it. You don't need a wrench or a strap wrench or a vise or anything to tighten it down. Just hand tight. Once we've got it set up to this point, take whatever shell we're going to use and thread it on. Okay, so now we're ready to go. You could hook this on your vest setup or whatever you're going to use it on. What I would do if you are going to run it on a vest setup or something where it's going to be just hanging, over time this is going to wear a little bit and the pin is going to get a little bit more loose. Keep your safety pin on there so that it has a little bit more of a resistance if it was to slide down. You don't want to be running around and this thing just drops off your vest and goes off at your feet or something like that. But when we're ready to go, holding the spoon, pull the pin out. It's ready to go. As soon as I lift this up, or let it go, I should say, it's going to spring forward. The hammer is going to drive into the CO2 cartridge, puncture it, and this is going to start filling up with gas. So immediately from when I release this, I'm going to want to throw it and get it out of my hands. You don't want it to go off in your hands. It's going to land where it is. It's going to compress with gas, and it's going to basically, I don't want to say it explodes, but it's going to vent and create a really loud noise. So you might have seen these on the field already. They're very popular with airsoft players. So check them out. There's a couple different configurations. This is kind of like the starter pack setup. The multi-pack comes with the core assembly, the 3 shells, and the 2 pins. Get you out there with your distractionary devices. So check them out through the website. Look at all the different setups there are, and order yours now through ansgear.com.